Well, what we have on the screen now is the Superservice Triage multi-point inspection, the online cloud computing automated process that will help get better buy-in from your employees because it's going to be much simpler for them to use. And you can see we have the RO number, the VIN information, the vehicle details. We've assigned next services, mileages, etc. We even annotate that the customer is waiting. Now you'll see it's a similar process to your paper. It's the red, green, yellow format that everybody's used to. But watch how this works. Let's say that we give this to the tech, or it could be your advisor, depending on how you do it and what part of the multi-point inspection we're at. But let's say it's down in the tech stall, and he looks and he notices that it needs an oil and filter change. So he will put it in a red state. Now he'll go to the list, and rather than typing this in and having somebody have to price it and everything else, he's just going to select it from the drop-down. If he chooses to add notes of his own, he can click Add Line, and he can click on the Tech Comment button, and he can type in any further information that he wants to share with the customer. Now let's say he starts looking at the cooling system and sees there's a small leak, and he decides maybe I should pressure test it. So we'll pressure test the cooling system by selecting it from that drop-down. He looks at the brakes. He says they're okay. Power steering's okay. Again, he can add a note to that if he chooses to by clicking on the Tech Comments. Clutch is fine. He looks at the windshield washer pump, and it does not pump, so he wants to replace that. So you see, he's really automated this process, speeded it up quite a bit. He has not had to type in much information, although he can. If you go down through the whole list, you'll see that the MPI that's on the screen is going to be specific to the OEM that you're working with. In this case, this is a Dodge Ram. You can get all the way down to tire reports and inspect the tires, and this is where this works with any process you have. If your advisors do some of the overcarriage inspection, they can be filling this all out and passing it on to the tech. The walk around is at the bottom, of course. And let's say there's a scratch in the hood, so you can annotate that to protect yourself. You have follow-up information and all this, etc. at the bottom. Let's go back up and show you why you really need to consider this Superservice Triage as compared to any manual process that you have. Think about what you have to do in the dealership now. You're going to involve parts people, service advisors. You're going to go wait at a busy parts counter, wait for a service advisor to get unbusy, to look up labor. Someone's got to determine all the variables on the vehicle to make sure they get the right one so that everything gets picked out properly. What we're going to do is we're just going to click on Price Operations now. And what's going to happen is we're going to go out to the repair database that's been created for this particular VIN and vehicle from the OEM. Everything's recommended. And you'll see up here we're VIN specific, and we have the vehicle information. It's a 3500 crew cab, 7 liter engine, 6-speed manual transmission. So we're VIN specific. We know what's on this vehicle. And the repairs that were brought back, the first one is the washer pump, and it even picks up a part that we may have missed. Your advisor, your tech, or even your parts guy might not understand that in the repair process, official repair manual, that grommet should be replaced. So we select that repair, and we go down to the cooling system, and we see RPTC, we've got the op code there. We select that. We go down to the engine oil and filter, and we've got the op code, we've got the drain plug, the filter, the proper number of quarts of oil. You see it's 12 because it's a big diesel engine, oil disposal, and shop supplies. So we've selected this. This has brought in the parts information. This has brought in the repair ops. Now we click Update MPI. And here's the big difference. Rather than standing there and waiting for this to all be priced out and wasting a lot of time and resources in the dealership, we have a completely priced MPI. At the bottom, we have the total found of work that's needed, which is $228 and our taxes. The service advisor now is ready to call the customer and get authorization. And if customer turns down any of these things, maybe he says, well, I've got a washer pump at home, or I'm going to get rid of the car, and this doesn't get authorized, then it will come off that total, and everything will be tracked in a report section of Superservice Triage. The other interesting thing is it's very, very easy if the customer is not at the dealership to get him the information that they need. It can be emailed, printed, faxed, texted right here. If you click Print this MPI, we're going to go to Adobe Acrobat file that's outputable to the customer, and you'll see right here, this is what it looks like. It looks exactly like what we've done at the dealership. Here's the red-green states, brakes are good, Power steering's good. Washer pump's bad. Here's all the parts, labor information right on the other side here. So you can see, to get more employee buy-in, maybe just switching to a system, an MPI system that is much easier, quicker, and more efficient, is going to help this great process work better for you.